our top priority in the state of Tennessee right now is clearing trees to really enable movement and to allow faster restoration of power. TEMA's #1 mission is supporting rapid restoration of power. The state of Tennessee is working to accomplish this by finding teams and resources to cut and clear down trees out of the way, get debris out of the roadway so that line crews and responders and utilities can go and get power restored and restore access to resources that folks might need in an emergency. Across Tennessee, we've got debris clearing teams actively working to remove trees, limbs, and storm debris that we've assigned here from the State Emergency Operations Center. So again, chainsaw, cut and toss. This is not debris clearance in the way that we typically would think of it after a disaster. This is really about an emergency protective measure to enable movement and resources to flow after this disaster. So our focus remains on primary routes, emergency access roads, and heavily impacted communities while working towards secondary routes. As you guys have been out and about, I'm sure you've seen that primary routes are pretty good, secondary routes are pretty good, and then once you get to the third and fourth order roads, those are pretty treacherous still sometimes. So while debris cleanup is typically a local jurisdiction responsibility, the unprecedented scale and scope of this event requires the state to assume a significant portion of the role, and we're doing that. The governor's executive order this week enabling TDOT to work off system will allow us to provide additional support to county highway departments so that we can, again, help utility companies more rapidly restore power. TEMA is currently coordinating chainsaw debris and cleaning crews with more than 90 people from our federal partners. You've seen that referred to some in their news releases as hotshot crews that are coming up. They were stationed in Tishomingo County, Mississippi, and have been deployed here to help us and help us get our utility companies out in places that have been devastated. The Tennessee National Guard is sending more personnel to integrate with NES operations and with TDOT to augment their ability to do cut and clear operations. And through the governor's emergency declaration, the state has received 91 personnel to support cut and toss teams. Based on combined reports from state agencies and local governments, at least 3,000 down trees have already been cleared or cut statewide. I am sure that is a fraction of the actual number that's been cut and cleared, just based on the amount of times I've been able to go and tour some of the areas that have been impacted. This includes more than 1,100 trees cleared by local governments and thousands of trees removed from state routes by TDOT, TWRA, and forestry crews. Yesterday, Governor Bill Lee issued Executive Order 111, a critical step to speed up tree and debris clearance removal or vegetative debris from around power lines especially. This executive order authorizes TDOT to assist on non-state roads, allowing TDOT crews to remove down trees and debris from county and city roadways when requested through TEMA. So we're working with our county emergency management agencies to find these routes. We're working with utility companies to find out where the most important places for them to be able to restore the most power in the fastest way possible to the places that they serve. Why power restoration matters, we know. Heat and winter. It is brutally cold. People have been very uncomfortably dangerous. Temperatures have been in people's homes, and without power, homes quickly become dangerous, especially for older adults, infants, or those with medical conditions. Many people rely on electricity for medical home oxygen machines, dialysis support, or making sure their medications like insulin are safe. And carbon monoxide risk is something that we see an increased amount of in these wintry conditions, and unfortunately we've had at least one death reported as a result of carbon monoxide poisoning, and as you've carried as we've seen on the news, a number of other suspected cases of carbon monoxide poisoning leading to medical treatment. Clearing trees is the gateway to recovery. It allows those utility crews to safely restore power. It enables first responders to reach residents in need, and it restores the access for healthcare workers, supplies, and essential services. This remains a coordinated statewide effort with state, local, federal utility partners working side by side. So the utilities they have a great mutual aid system where they support each other. They have great contracts with contract workers. And as the scope of this response is narrowed from really stretching from Dallas to New York into the more concentrated areas of northern Mississippi, much of Tennessee, and northern Louisiana, they're able to move more resources to help them address these things. The state of Tennessee has made some resources available. TEMA, working with the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation, requested for the TBI to make a hotline available so that welfare and wellness checks could be requested. This hotline is intended for situations where loved ones or neighbors have not been able to reach someone, and those requests are submitted through this line that are then coordinated where state or local law enforcement personnel are able to go and check on people. We have a disaster hotline, disaster information line that's available that opened earlier today. This hotline provides general disaster-related information, including available resources, recovery guidance, and where the public can get help. Our public messaging emphasis is encouraging Tennesseans to use these hotlines when it's appropriate rather than 911. So for non-emergency needs, calling the TBI hotline in order to get wellness checks or calling the disaster information line when they have questions helps those priority traffic on 911 lines to stay emergencies. And we're working to make sure that we're sharing information in as many ways as possible so that those that are without power can access it. The Central Resource Hub for information related to Winter Storm Fern you can find on TEMA's webpage, which is www.tn.gov/TEMA. Again, that's www.tn.gov/TEMA. As additional assistance or recovery resources become available, they'll be posted on that same website. Again, the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation hotline is available to assist with welfare and wellness checks for individuals impacted by Winter Storm Fern. The line should be used whenever a loved one or a neighbor cannot reach someone that they're concerned about, and we'll make sure that appropriate state or local resources are deployed to go and check on them. The disaster information line is open to support Tennesseans impacted by the storm. This hotline provides general disaster-related information, including available resources, recovery guidance, and where to get help. It serves as a central point of contact as response and recovery efforts continue. Tennesseans are encouraged to use those hotlines again instead of 911. So leave 911 for emergency needs, use these other hotlines for non-emergency needs. And I'll just speak on the weather fatalities. At this point, the Tennessee Department of Health has confirmed 10 weather-related fatalities. It's 1 in Obion, 1 in Crockett, 1 in Haywood, 3 in Davidson County, 2 in Cheatham County, 1 in Hickman County, and 1 in Knox County. We continue to urge Tennesseans to not be on dangerous roads. Of course, a lot of them have been cleared now, but and then really urge, if you're using an external heating source or energy source, please make sure your generators are more than 20 feet away from your structure, and that you're hopefully have a carbon monoxide alarm. So if something happens or you're experiencing any symptoms of carbon monoxide, that you can know them and then get out. And of course, we've made shelters available. Our local partners across the state, more than 100 warming centers and shelters are open throughout the state that are available. And calling your county emergency manager, they can help get you transportation there if you're not able to get there.